dabbling, they're starting over, they're going, all right, am I going to insource, am I going to outsource, am I going to niche, am I going to be a generalist?
White label.
Yeah, I'm going to pick a niche, and then I think there's a part of that where we really want to try something, want to see, test the waters, but we just don't really understand that mentality of testing and trying.
Agency owners come to me all the time asking, what's the magic niche? What's the magic thing I got to say to get them? And it's like, what's the magic product to sell? What's the magic product to sell? What up, motherfuckers? We were sitting here, we were doing a little bit of boat masterminding with a bunch of legends over, as you can see, obviously, especially the Mantex. That's like some pretty legendary stuff. And I brought on Quantum Agency Man, Signal Genesis Man himself, one of the legends of our industry, Lane Houk. And today we want to talk about something that we see as kind of a problem in our industry. Is just like people dabbling in too much shit and constantly like starting over. They don't decide on a model. They don't decide on a niche. So first, Lane train.
What's up, folks? Yeah, good to be here. Thank you.
So I'd love to hear your thoughts, Lane, because I mean, like you and I, we're not talking like you've seen this once or twice. Like I've seen this 1,000 times over and over. And so, tell me about the part we were kind of talking about privately, where you mentioned the model. Like people just they want to dabble in some SaaS, and I'm in the lead generation.
Yeah. So I mean, I just, it's something that's a pattern I've started to see with a lot of agency owners where they're just really struggling to get momentum in their agency. But it's underlying that is they're dabbling, they're starting over, they're going, all right, am I going to insource, am I going to outsource, am I going to niche, am I going to be a generalist?
White label.
Yeah, I'm going to pick a niche, and then all of a sudden,
I'm going to be AI chatbot.
From product to product, one technology, or it's kind of the shiny object syndrome type of issue, but it's sabotaging success.
Oh my god, it's unbelievable.
It's just, and so what the pattern I see is that agency owners are in the same place they were a year ago, the place they were with the last mastermind. And so
we're talking like sometimes a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years.
Yeah, I mean, I could literally know some agency owners that are in the same place they were 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah. So what do you think's underneath it? Like, why is this such a widespread thing in our industry?
Well, I think our industry, first of all, it's prone to that because we're in a kind of technology, software, marketing space. There's literally about 20,000 tools, out there that are available, and everyone's pitching those. So, we're already in the digital space, and so agencies are easy targets for any kind of software, marketing gimmick tool, whatever. You can target them, and so you're getting ads galore. You're already in that space, and I think there's a part of that where we really want to try something, want to see, test the waters, but we just don't really understand that mentality of testing and trying this and trying that is really sabotaging in business. I don't care if you're in the agency business or if you're in the plumbing business. If you're out constantly trying to figure out, like if you're a plumber and you're sitting there going, well, today I'm going to sell, water softener installations, and then all of a sudden it's a little bit challenging. And you're like, all right, well, I'm going to start selling emergency plumbing, and then you switch to that, and then you're constantly switching. You just don't ever build momentum. Momentum is incredibly important in building a successful company.
Yeah, you mentioned something that I see all the time, which is as soon as it gets fucking hard, I see people throw in the towel and go, I'm going to go to some greener pasture that's easier. And I see, like, when you learn an industry or a niche or a group of people, they almost always have, like, a secret language. Like, if we're sitting around here and we talk about SEO or PPC or funnels, like, we all understand each other. But, like, if my mom's sitting at the dinner table, like, that sounds like a totally different language. And I find a lot of times you have to, like, be able to speak the language of your market so that, like, you're on the same page. Like, I see people pitch a dentist and then say, I can get you more customers. And it's like, the dentist doesn't call his people customers, so he already knows you're not one of them. And so almost always, like, I see, like, people back off from the difficulty when they actually need to lean into it. That's the moment, like, where it's hard. But I wonder if you could just speak a little bit about what you see, where you reach that moment of difficulty and people then just opt to the next thing, hoping it'll be easier, and then what ends up happening, it turns out that's hard, and they just keep jumping from the thing. And
yeah, I think I see probably the biggest place I see is in our industry is when agencies pick a niche. They say, I'm going to go I'm going to start serving the plumbing industry or the roofing industry or the legal industry, whatever it is. And then, so they dive in, and then they realize at, probably 3 to 6 month mark, like, there's some challenges, there's some roadblocks, first getting my foot in the door or whatever it is. And that challenge is, instead of responding to that challenge by, like you just said, doubling down and going deeper, you're like, oh, let me hit the eject button, there's got to be an easier niche. And that mentality is really a disease to a business owner. Again, that you won't contain that mentality. Just the niche.
Can I just add a piece of that? Because I had a friend, he's in our group, Dave Miz, and I say had a friend, we're still friends, but he told me, like, in the beginning I was dabbling, looking for like some quick way to make magic internet bucks, and I tried like 200 different, it's random weird shit. I tried a thing called e-whoring, where you get $3 or so every time you get somebody to sign up for a dating site. So you impersonate like a pretty girl next door, and guys come to you and you say, hey, I want to talk to you more, but come do it on my dating site. And guys with their wieners out aren't the brightest. You make a couple of bucks doing it. And I did all kinds of weird ass shit like that. I remember Dave said to me, he said,
it's going to make for a really good shorter
but Dave said to me, for real, he said, if you just picked one thing and stuck with it, you'd be further than you are now than having dabbled in 200 things.
And the same thing happens with products, or solutions or services that the industry says they're going to offer. I mean, more in the world of AI this, AI that, there's software this, there's software that, and there's nothing to say that any of them are wrong or bad. They're operating. This is in one sense or another, but I just said it, just a simple scale feeds the face. If you're going to scale a business to have a quality of life, family, whatever, then you need simplicity. Otherwise, you're going to end up being married in your office,
which is easy to fuck to do in our line of work. It's the easiest to build
So you just need to pick a model. Like, they need to figure it out. Maybe you need to take 3 months to figure that out, or you can take 3 weeks or 3 days, whatever the time is. You need to figure out your model. Am I going to insource? Am I going to outsource? What products and solutions am I going to offer to my audience? What is that audience going to be? And then you set everything in motion, and then you execute. And you execute. You don't just build a business in 3 or 6 months. When you hit those challenges, those roadblocks.
I just hold it. We've talked about we're gonna build a little resource, and by the time this is live, we're gonna put in a video for you guys, because we're gonna build a little checklist. You guys will be able to go through and pick something.
These are critical key decisions.
Critical key. But can I just add to you, like, a lot of people think if you get it wrong, it has dire consequences. Like, I'll never be able to make money and we'll be broke. But it's more like you just need to be able to build momentum in a single direction. It's like all the niches work. Like, it's crazy to me. People ask, like, in every industry, I know at least one person making it work, right? Like, it's not the niche that's the make or break detail. You just have to keep running.
There's nothing wrong with being a generalist. Like, if you run on a generalist, there's nothing wrong with that. You have to do what's good for you, what you feel is your jam, right? But if that's going to be your model, then go, and then run, and go, and execute. And stop trying to add in more shit, into the mix.
Less shit, not more shit. And especially, too, I find if you're dealing with busy, successful people, which I suggest, and whatever niche you pick, work with the movers and shakers near the top, is like, simplicity saves them time, effort, execution, right? They don't need more shit to do, they need less shit to do, right? And so, like, there's a value in, like, all the things you take away, not in what you add. And so, I think for a lot of people, that's like a big sigh of relief that, like, there is no wrong niche as long as you're just helping people and you're simplifying and you're doing, something that's a little bit unique and you got it that's well defined enough, and then you put yourself out there and promote yourself continuously in one direction. Like, people come through the other side. You know what I compare it to? Like, when Dave first started, he was like a god in my eyes. He was the first guy who made real internet money. So, like, I was like, we're talking 2007, he was like a hero in my world. He was in this space called the pickup artist, where guys would try to figure out how to sleep with as many women as possible. And he was doing an internet dating thing, and the thing that was really popular, and it's still popular to this day, is people were looking for the magic line. Like the phrase you're going to say, like, you can get all the women to just throw their underwear at you. And if you're not an idiot, there's no fucking magic line. There's like no one line you're gonna say to every chick that's like you get her to throw her underwear. That's the dumbest thing you can think of. And yet, agency owners come to me all the time asking, what's the magic niche? What's the magic thing I gotta say to get them? And it's like, what's the magic product to sell? What's the magic product to sell? And all that kind of shit. And it's like asking, what's the line I say to get under it? Just go talk to her and engage in the process, right? Like, and start it in some form or another, and then continue talking to her and go on some dates, and go on that journey and see where it takes you. So too many of the people in our space are just like, I think that to add on to your work where we see that roadblock in sales, they start the prospects, their audience. I think when you start to get roadblocks in that component or that phase of rolling out the agency model, is if you're getting roadblocks there, so you're not adding value to the community, you're trying to sell the product. You're trying to get instead of trying to get. So if you go, all right, my niche, I don't know, generalist, niche agency, my audience, what that is, I'm going to give to that community that value, and I'm trying to help that community grow. If you go in that mentality and that approach, you can't fucking lose. How are you going to get roadblocks there? You can't fucking lose, right? You may lose in the short term in the hour to hour, but over the long haul, you can't possibly lose. I think what the key is that if you're doing I want to get 10K a month so I can show my asshole. People sniff that out. They're wise. They know it's not that deal. So I think you see the effort that you talk about the go-giver. Robber, go-giver, So that's our message for today. Pick your model. Pick it and go all in on it at least for a period of time. And we say 6 to 12 months at the very least. Like going in that time frame. There are always people along the way, but how do you really get up there on that? How do you really say, I want that? Like you feel good about that. Like I said, there's no better Amen to that. Much love for you guys. Appreciate you. May the force be with you. Hey guys, if you like this video, you'll probably also like our free Facebook group, Beyond Agency Profits, Agency Lifestyle Design. You can get free copies of the book inside here. I look ridiculous. We're doing weekly Q&As, giving answers to all your questions. Some of the best, smartest, brightest people. We've got lots of industry leaders doing 7, 8 figures and beyond. It's a literal who's who of the brightest agency owners that I know, as well as lots of tips on scaling and stuff, books that work. So if you're not already part of it, you're going to want to be part of it. So make sure to click the link. I put it in the description of the video as well as in the pinned top comment below. So just scroll down and you can join, and it's totally free.